How to use the color picker. Color picker is a part of many softwares that let the user to select a specific color to work with. We need to learn how to work with the color picker because usually we are not able to recognize the color that we are looking for and maybe choose a wrong color. I will explain all the necessary information for you to learn how to choose colors like purple, magenta, or pink. RGB color system model. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. It's about a dark environment and light. If in dark environment you add red light and then add green light, together it will seem yellow. Isn't it amazing? We use RGB color on all digital screens because they're creating lights. So if you closely look at the screen pixel, you will see that they made up a tiny little red, green, blue lights. If we're mixing full red light with blue and green, then the result is white color. Or as we see it on the screen, it's white light. So in this system, it's all about lights, remember it. Just for your knowledge, some screen companies, instead of using all three lights to make white light, they separately add white light to the RGB. And because of the white light, the screen doesn't need to use all three RGB lights to make it, and it helps the screen lights to working for longer and saving more power. It's good to making gray color too, so we can call it RGBW. CMYK color system. CMYK is a stand for cyan, magenta, yellow, and key color. For understanding CMYK, we need to know how ink or paint works. CMYK is opposite of RGB or RGBW because it's not about light and it's about real physical colors like ink and pigments for printing industry or painting. If you remember, we see leaves are green color because they don't absorb green color from white light and reflect it. We use the same thing in CMYK system. For printing green on the paper, the printer will print a layer of cyan and layer of yellow. Then we will see it as green. For printing a red color, the printer will print a layer of magenta followed by a layer of yellow. Then we will see it as red. At the end, K is a key color in printing, which is black color. We can make black color by printing a layer of cyan, magenta, and yellow on each other. But same as RGBW, we're using simply black color because we're using a lot of black, same as using a lot of white light in RGBW. Now how these are related to the software's color picker. Same as a color wheel, which we use for color schemes, there is a color system which we can use in software. By learning how this system works, we can easily choose the right color we were looking for, or guess colors of different objects on the screen. If you remember, we said that a color can be defined by hue from 0 to 360 degree, saturation from 0% to 100%, and lightness from 0% to 100%. By having RGB and CMY system on a circle, we will have this color circle. And this is exactly what we use to select hues in HSP or HSV color picker software. By dividing a circle to 360 parts, which we call each part 1 degree, a circle has 360 degrees. This is why we define a color hue from 0 to 360 degrees. It starts from 0 on the top, which red color is there, and followed by the yellow color on the 60 degree, the green color on 120 degree, cyan on the 180 degree, blue on 240 degree, magenta on 300 degree, and red on 360 degree again. So 0 and 360 degree on a circle are the same place, which is on the top. There are other colors in the circle too, and we can find them by knowing they are placed on which degree. For example, orange color. We know orange is mixture of red and yellow, so red is 0 and yellow is 60. So in the middle is 30, and exactly orange color is on the 30 degree. So when we want to use orange color in the software, we open a color picker, and on the edge part, which is hue, we write 30 degree and we will have orange color. And by changing the saturation and brightness or value, we can have different type of orange color according to our needs. By typing 30 on the edge, we can be 100% sure that we selected orange color, even if we cannot see it perfectly. So, if most of colorblind people cannot see the difference between purple, magenta and violet, how we can use them in our digital project and artworks? How about I teach you that magenta, as I said, is on 300 degree of this color system, and by typing 300 on the edge part we can select magenta color easily. You need to know that violet is on 270 degree of the circle, and same as other color, just type it. But the purple is different, with different saturation and brightness. Let's see where is the pink color. Pink is between red and magenta. Red is on 360 degree and magenta is on 300 degree. So deep pink is in the middle on 330 degree. In the software's color picker, we have another option to select colors. For example, for the pink color, we can use the RGB system too. In RGB system, numbers started from 0 to 255. If we want to select red color on the RGB system, we don't need green and blue, we just need full amount of red. So we define it by these numbers, 255 for red and 0 for green and 0 for blue. It's same pattern to select blue color, green color and other colors too. For example, blue is 0, 0, 255 and green is 0, 255, 0. But what about the deep pink that we talked about? Deep pink in RGB system defined by 255, 0, 127. It means a fully red color with no green color and 127 amount of blue. This combination will make deep pink in RGB system. This knowledge could be exciting and complicated in the same time, but this is the best way to find a color that we or our client want to use in projects. Here I made a table to make it easier to using colors as a colorblind user. You need to learn these numbers and memorize them. When we learned about the basics, you can continue for more specific colors. Each program will give you different options for selecting a color. Here we can see some of them. You can mostly use RGB system, which is from 0 to 255, and HSP or CMYK system. Most of the software let you use hex code to pick a color, and some 3D software working with HSV, and even some of them let the user to select a color scheme to pick a perfect color. Hex color code. Designers and developers use hex color code in web design. A hex color is expressed as a 6-digit combination of numbers and letters defined by its mix of red, green and blue, RGB. Basically, a hex color code is shorthand for its RGB value with a little conversion gymnastics in between. You can choose a color by specifying a hexadecimal value that defines the R, G, and B components in a color. The 3 pairs of numbers are expressed in value from 00 minimum luminance to FF maximum luminance. For example, this is black, this is white, and this is red. You can easily grab the color by the eyedropper in Photoshop or other softwares, or by using HSP number that I explained before, and then use the provided hex code for your projects. Lab color space. Lab contains colors that are not supported by monitors, just like your monitor can display colors that cannot be printed. Lab color is used for many things outside the realms of photography, digital, and printing to specify colors because of its accuracy. In the printing industry, for example, in flexographic printing, lab is used to measure color variations and to adjust the press ink accordingly. It is used widely across industries, such as the automotive industry, the textile industry, and more, because it has a wider color gamut than RGB and CMYK.